Hey, what's going on, guys? This is just a follow-up video on the situation in Beirut. I wanted to go over this Washington Post article and see if we can glean some specific details, even though all we have to go off of is what the government of Lebanon says and our media. The government of Lebanon and our media. But that's what we got to go on. People wonder why conspiracies form. Here's what the videos of the Beirut blast tell us about the explosion. The massive explosions in the Beirut port on Tuesday provoked fear, then speculation after an eerie white cloud enveloped the lenses of bystanders' videos, with many suggesting online that it looked something like a nuclear blast. The building consensus among arms experts and Lebanese officials is that the explosion, which killed at least 63 people and injured thousands more, may have been ignited by burning chemicals stored at a warehouse. Many not accustomed to seeing large explosions may conflate mushroom clouds and spherical blast waves as nuclear, said Jeffrey Lewis, an arms control expert and professor at Middlebury Institute of International Studies at Monterey. But some of the things we associate with nuclear explosions are just associated with explosions. Few things can be concluded from the videos, including some filmed before the bigger of the blasts, which Lewis said may have begun when munitions in storage caught fire. A rising cloud of white smoke featured crackling and bright pops, consistent with when small munitions, rockets for instance, begin cooking off, he said. And he says rockets, for instance, because we're talking about Lebanon, headquarters of Hezbollah. They're known for packing rockets and throwing them, shooting them over the border to Israel. Then a fireball erupts, followed by an orb of white that quickly expands from the blast zone. That is the pressure of the shock wave condensing the moisture in the air, he said. Brian Kastner, a former Air Force bomb technician at Amnesty International, echoed that on Twitter, saying the shockwave, quote, is visible in the humid air. Lebanese Interior Minister Mohammed Fahmy said it appeared that stocks of ammonium nitrate, a fertilizer that can be used in bomb making, had exploded. The telltale signs of ignited ammonium, reddish smoke, spewed from the blast, Lewis said. The color is consistent with the chemical compound and comes from nitrogen oxides, the byproduct of which gives smog its reddish-brown color. So we have the one expert who's explaining the pressure wave that I explained earlier today, and we have another expert that's finally answering my questions about that just solid red smoke. That was the one thing that was confusing me. So we saw the small munitions crackling off and then fired off by the large explosion. Their large explosion, we are now thinking, was essentially stored ammonium nitrate. Lebanese Prime Minister Hassan Diab linked the explosions to dangerous stocks of chemicals that had been stored at the port since 2014, despite warnings from port officials that the material was not safe. And we have to understand this. We're talking about the port in Lebanon. It already doesn't have the greatest safety inspection records that we have here in the United States. And then you add on to that the CV pandemic, and you may have had things going on there with absolutely no supervision. I promise you that this catastrophe will not pass without accountability. Those responsible will pay the price, he said in a televised speech. Facts about this dangerous warehouse that has been there since 2014 will be announced, and I will not preempt the investigations. Around 2,700 tons were stockpiled, Lebanese President Michel Aoun said. How many different government agencies people are we going to speak to? Anyways, Michel Aoun said that is near back of the envelope estimates of the size of the explosion, which is around the equivalent of a few hundred tons of TNT, Lewis said. Ammonium nitrate is not as powerful as TNT. So that confirmed pretty much everything I was already thinking about this explosion. But I did want to see ammonium nitrate make that red smoke again. So I went digging on the internet and I found this right here. I'm going to leave you guys with this video. Like, share, and sub the channel. Love y'all. Out.
Explosions are the best part to helping EOD out.
That's Las Vegas native and 110 Cav Quick Reaction Force medic, Private First Class James Bucco. He explains what they're doing this morning with the 749th Explosive Ordnance Disposal Company.
Well, we came here, picked up some fertilizer, loaded it up. We're going to do a controlled detonation.
Soldiers from 749th EOD basically getting rid of ammonium nitrate. And because we can't carry enough explosive to get rid of the amount that we have today, we're actually trying to blow it into the air to spread it out because it's a fertilizer.
EOD, this is Red 4. You're clear to blow it when you're ready.
Reporting for the 319th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment outside of Kandahar City, Afghanistan.
All stations, this is net. Fire in the hole, fire in the hole, fire in the hole.
I'm U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Walter Tallons.